Oh boy. Aren't kittens wonderful?
They really are.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Although people should get their cats spayed and neutered because there are too many kittens.
Yes.
I do like the idea of the quality, where we can improve
I was just looking at that too.
the
Ooh.
quality of our items in that category. I mean,
Ooh.
there's a lot of good
Quality
weapons.
of weapons would be nice.
Yeah, weapons, tools, supplies, gear, all of that. Nice.
Documents could be upgrading documents could be valuable for like getting out of the city and getting on, the train to Imperial City and such.
Yes. Especially if we happen to be carrying improved weapons with us.
Fair.
Well, do you want to put one into documents and one into weapons?
Yeah.
That actually sounds good to me.
I would be for that.
Okay, I guess that's what we're going to do, Bob.
I like that.
And this isn't the only mission that we've tried to use documents and stuff with. So.
Right. Let's upgrade those. Take this note off.
Yeah, and we might have used weapons a time or two.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I like it. You guys have some pretty badass weapons, and let's say maybe as you since you took over some of the Red Scarf territory, like that. I think that maybe you have a high quality scribe that you got kind of in that deal.
Somebody that's hooked on drugs?
Maybe.
Somebody who kind of likes the current arrangement of his limbs and torso and innards.
Yeah, maybe all that kind of stuff too.
Yep. Not saying that there would be any reason they'd have to fear, those things being rearranged at any point.
And
we don't know anyone who would do a thing like that.
Okay.
Let's see. We still need to do downtime also?
I think we probably should.
Yep. Okay.
So, I usually go in the order that I see the pictures on my screen, and I see Jenny on the left-hand side. Want to go first with your downtime stuff?
All right.
That helps me keep my brain doing the thing it's supposed to be doing.
I think I need to probably. No, my stress is okay. So, how about I train?
Okay.
And what is it better for me to train in?
All three of the attributes. You can, yeah.
Oh, anything?
Yep.
That's nice. That'll help me get my resolve up a bit faster. Because I double it 2 points in instead of 1, right? That's what I was talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I spent some time training.
Very nice. Next, we got Joe.
Yeah. Aldo had been doing some work, so he's going to train insight. and that gets him enough to level up, and he'll take a dot and hunt.
Nice.
So,
All right. Then Lehman.
For this one, I will try the healing progress clock. Should just be able to submit, right? Pretty number of dice.
I'm not sure.
I guess if I roll and nothing appears. Up it rolled. Lowest. Oh, yay.
Oh, yeah. That sucks.
Well, I guess, how
I thought we just rolled toughness on that. Is that? Hold on.
what is healing?
You'd think after playing this game for like a year now, we'd understand how the rules work.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens when it's every other week, and then there's
Uh-huh.
weeks that multiple people are busy, or we can't do it. So.
yeah. And if you miss a week, it's a month between games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's on downtime.
Yeah.
Thing.
Do we have any bonus dice to healing?
Should have 2.
Oh, we've got an infirmary, which is +1 die to healing rolls.
Ever.
And we've got our own physician, which is another +1.
Okay. And I forget what the base on it is.
Oh, so when you cover seek treatment and heal harm, you might visit a physiker. You don't have at least. So please. Okay. So Lehman, I think you should be doing, because you specifically have a healer.
Right.
Right? So I think it is more like you're rolling 3 dice because you have a tier 3 dude.
Uh-huh.
Because you have an infirmary.
Okay.
And you're keeping one of them. Not the, like, you're healing yourself in the street.
Right. Okay. Let's try. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a little bit better.
That is significantly better.
That is 3 segments.
3 segments. All right, Pete.
I am going to try and reduce some stress. I'm going to indulge my vice.
Heck yeah.
I'm going to
Get messed up.
get messed up and get in my cups and talk about the demons in my head and how the way to calm the demons down is to maim and kill and do grievous body harm to people I don't like.
Okay.
So
Not the best.
no bonus dice to indulging vice.
Right. You're just rolling your shittiest stat.
So
Hey, that's half your stress.
Yeah.
well, I can add 2 to that. So
Yeah, because you are a functional psychopath.
yep.
Right next to be Jenny again. And I'll be wait, we'll be right back.
What are you doing up there?
I think I'm becoming my dad. I just got really excited about hot chocolate chip cookies coming out of the oven.
Hey, I've been excited about
yes.
that since my entire life. So
I think that is perfectly acceptable and reasonable.
yes.
So, I think I'm gonna train again unless, guys, there's something else I need to do. Because I was getting a cookie and not listening to your turns.
Um,
Yeah.
go ahead and train again.
Well, looking pretty good, Sophia.
All right. I'll train you. Sweet.
Hey,
Okay.
I saw something that said Larry was starting dialysis.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Um, in a couple months.
Okay.
So,
I'm trying to indulge my vice.
you're
It's
sure
time to remove my stress.
you don't want to just keep coasting on those 2 stress you got left?
No.
That one, since I didn't.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, I'll be coasting on that and these 3 stress I have left to use. Oh, wow. Oh, well, it means the next time I reduce stress, I have no chance of overindulging.
Maybe he is somebody to be trifled with.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, Lumen.
Yes, I am going to have. Oh, let's train.
Jeez. Okay.
I'll train resolve with rain.
Groovy. And Pete.
I'm going to try and finish off my scope.
Okay.
So that's Tinker.
Yep. I think you just finish it then, because I think the worst you can do is get 1 pie piece on it.
Alrighty.
Congratulations. You have a scope.
Yay. Is that a long-term project that's completed now?
Yes.
We made a sandwich before.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we improved our weapons, so
Oh, yes.
and I'm already starting out with a fine long rifle.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Bob, I've got one more.
Oh yeah, because you are who you are.
Does anybody have anything they really need to take care of?
Oh,
Although, do you really need to reduce some stress?
yes. I really need to reduce some stress.
So you're gonna take Aldo out and go do something fun with him?
So I'm going. I would normally train, but Aldo's been in prison. I mean,
Yeah, you have to do the break.
he's being in prison. He's got to be stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he and I just recently beat up, a bar. Had some fun, taking some people out. I think we should go celebrate that.
Celebrate, yes.
By messing up another bar?
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
I'll pass that on to Aldo.
All right. Time to indulge vice.
I didn't get him drunk enough.
This is not.
Um, I went from having 7 stress to having 4 stress, so that's something.
It's an improvement.
Mhm.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Okay. So now I think we got open play. Right now, and for just activities around town. You guys want to go do some role playing and stuff? Does Min have any?
I don't really have things that
Let's see.
I got to play last time and do stuff. If you'll recall, we eliminated my nemesis.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
took over
yeah.
took over Red then.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Min's pretty happy, cooking and knowing that she's, cooking for the good guys, or at least for her guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, she has nothing that she wants or needs now
Mm,
at the moment.
yeah.
All right. Well, next we got Joe.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. I was thinking about the next mission, which that I seem to recall something about going to Imperial City or something, but
Yep.
my yeah, that I don't remember much else about that.
I believe you were hired by some of your former enemies or somewhat current enemies. Yeah, circle the
Circle of Flame.
Yeah.
So because one of their guys, Lord Mora, skipped town and stole a very important artifact to them.
Okay.
But we talked to the Dimmer sisters, and
Yep.
the Dimmer sisters said it's not a good idea for these three objects to come together.
That is what they said.
No,
Mhm.
I just wanted to jump.
So their opinion was it probably would be a good idea for that artifact to stay in the Emperor's collection.
Yep.
We also know that it's an open contract. We're not the only ones going after it.
Mhm.
So one of the things that was mentioned was, if we could find out who else was going after it, it might not hurt things in the overall scheme of things for us to take out the competition and just leave the object in the Emperor's museum or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The Imperial Menagerie.
Yeah. We do know that a lot of pilgrims go to the Imperial City. So one of the ideas for us to go to the Imperial City was to pose as pilgrims. That it's also very difficult to smuggle weapons and gear into the Imperial City.
Mm, there are ways.
Yep. So, what is it you're looking to do?
This is still Aldo, right?
I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. I'll pass right now. I can't really think. What? Yeah, brain's not working right now. Give me a minute to think on things.
All right. Lehman, do you have a thing you want to do?
Yes, now that I am awake again, I would like to sacrifice a god.
Okay.
Sacrifice a god?
Yes. So
Okay.
I find my little assistant girl. She is like leader of big family business thing now. She has been spending lots of time making shrine. So let's have a little sacrifice.
Yeah. All right. So it takes a little bit of work to find her. Not a lot, because she's not at your apartment anymore,
Mm-hmm.
nor is she at the location where you talked about that shrine.
Right.
She's back at her family home in White Crown. So hold on, pull my notes for this because I swear I made a bunch of notes for this. But then, oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, you find Emmeline Cornwell or Corwell at her family's mansion in White Crown,
Mm-hmm.
and just going to the big front door and and ringing the bell. You're you're met with a you're met by a butler, um, in this fancy uniform and everything. There's clearly a staff there, um, to to escort you in. The man says, "Greetings. How may I help you?"
Yes, I have come to see the lady of house. You can tell her that her associate Vetcher is waiting.
Please wait in this drawing. And and he returns and I'm sorry, now he doesn't return. Emily herself comes up, and she looks completely different than the last time you saw her. Like she's like every time you've seen her, she's been like she looks like she's a mess, right?
Mhm.
Like her hair, she looks like a crazed lunatic or whatever. Now she's in like a nice dress with a high collar and the long sleeves and gloves. The under all the frills, her hair's is done up in the fancy curls and such. And she says,
So I think maybe now would be good time to learn name.
says, "My dear Vetcher, I'm so glad you've come."
Yes, yes. Sorry, I am the late evening, but I had little difficulty. I had to.
Don't worry about a thing. The Our mutual friend told us that you would be with us soon. Please come with me.
Of
And
course, finish.
she takes you back. As she takes you through this hall, you can see all these servants up here. Like every servant kind of eyes the two of you very suspiciously
Mm-hmm.
as she takes you to a down into a cellar. Um, Down inside the cellar is like a completely different scene than the vaulted grand entry area and the big stairwells and such in the and well lit spaces of the mansion. Um, down in the basement is clearly a huge BDSM dungeon. There are a number of other women down here, doing stuff to each other, and it's just like full of like sounds of like moaning and screaming, um, in in both pleasure and pain.
Yes, this might be even better than theater.
It says our temple is coming along beautifully, as you can see. Um, in the center of the space, there is kind of this vague shape, kind of this like a black, like an obsidian melted body. Um, that seems to be like the altar at which everybody is all these women are worshiping. She says, "Did you bring it?"
Yes, I have it right with me. And I probably have it like, wrapped up,
Oh yeah,
presented to her.
awesome. And when she unwraps it, like the light shining out of this thing is blinding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, filling the whole room. Like everybody stops to gaze and wonder at the thing. It's kind of transfixing, just because of the power inside. That's just barely contained inside this spirit jar.
Plus, quite a contrast to this shrine.
Exactly, a huge contrast to the shrine. She she speaks some words in a in this in an indecipherable language, and then smashes the jar at the feet of the black statue, and the light like immediately goes out. Everybody's standing, just standing in darkness. Even the torches along the walls snuff out.
I have
And
a huge smile on my face.
and a moment later, I'd say a few moments later, one of the torches is relit by one of the supplicants,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that the statue, um, instead of the completely kind of melted the visage that it was, like the really vaguely human form,
Mm-hmm.
it now stands tall, as a still a faceless human form, but its entire but the whole thing is covered with these long spikes, like some kind of a porcupine creature. And you have adventure. I think is filled with this, the visions, like again of the the pieces that that it needs. And with this sacrifice, you're going to get access to. Oh, in the cult. Yeah, so in the cult playbook, the Bound in Darkness ability, you'll be able to use this with anybody else who is also an adherent to the Web of Pain.
So that's the cult group. Yes.
Yes, the cult group
Okay.
playbook. Because the web connects us all.
Which one did you say that was?
It's called Bound in Darkness.
Bound. Ah, yep, I see it.
See it? It's one that allows you to use the teamwork feat even if you're far away from each other. because I think it's super thematically cool. Okay.
Very good. I have information where things are. Seeing about.
And yeah, Emily says, I knew you would help us. You are the Lord's harbinger of pain.
Among titles, yes.
Cool. All right, Pete, what do you got?
Alrighty. I am going to do some investigations,
Uh-huh.
relying on my military background.
Yep.
What type of military associations, anything like that, are in the Imperial City? I'm going to talk to the other members of my old unit that are here in town. You know, the gang that I hang out with, and see if anybody's got any contacts in the Imperial City. See if there's like any military organizations, something like the VFW or the American Legion, stuff like that. Um,
Okay.
any like me and my crew were mostly like Rangers, snipers, SEALs. Is there kind of like retired service members, retired SEALs or retired Ranger, whatever organization? Is there a chapter? Is the head chapter in the Imperial City? Who are some people that I would be able to contact with that might be in the Imperial City that are former military? Try and get an idea how they feel about former military in the Imperial City.
Right. All right. So again, so it's like for these, we don't normally roll dice. So this, as I would say, checking around, like some basic things you can know. Of course, is the Imperial Guard, the Imperial military, is of course headquartered in Imperial City. You also, I mean, there's just a lot of the Imperial military there. So, and it's different than the military that you were in. I mean, so you were more in like a conscripted military, um, and provided gear, gear like associated with, or let's say commensurate with that, with basically just handing civilians weapons and saying go figure it out.
But I was still in a more elite
I know you were. Yes, you were. However, like the level of you, like what you would consider, elite in your group is nowhere near what the true imperial, what the emperor's own really is. So the imperial military, I mean, most of them use like these have to wear like full body armor, including helmets. They are nigh impervious to bullets. They are they're like power suits, so they can
So
they can kill a horse with their bare hands.
40K.
Is in a Victorian steampunk version, almost exactly like a Warhammer 40K sort of situation. So Where? I want to double check that I'm right on this. So so the Imperial Military is a Tier 6 organization. And you guys are Tier 2, right? And you think about like the the cops, the blue coats are Tier 3. So the Imperial Military, it would take so I think like your weapons and stuff, like you can get your gun up to like a Tier 4. You're unlikely to even do much more than wound like a single soldier from the Imperial Military. They are extraordinarily powerful. There are in all about 250 Imperial soldiers in Duskwall, and every single one of them is in White Castle. Sorry, White Crown, not White Castle. In White Crown. And like most people, you've probably only seen them like as a couple of guys, like guarding the palace there. There's supposed to be more, but yeah, they are a threat the likes of which none of you have ever encountered.
Hey, Bob.
Which is a good thing to know now. Yes, sir.
Would it be possible to change this just a little bit instead of the messages being heard? Can I, like, when people say it and they expend the stress,
Mhm.
the message is cut into their arm?
Ooh, I like that.
Then when they read it, then it fades. So it's
I like that.
it's quick, but
But-
you feel the slicing.
The sensation, yeah, the sensation remains. I love that. That is super cool. I approve of that 1,000,000,000%.
Cool.
Cool. All right. There. Although you don't have any information about where they are, or how you would find them, I think you're sure that there's at least one chapter of the like enlisted veterans, um, the Veterans Association in Imperial City.
All right. Can I try and find out if there's any way I can contact them?
Sure. I would figure out. I think, yeah, talking it over with some of the guys at the bar. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a group there. Of course, I've never been. And feel free to make up the. He says, yeah, I remember the name of the place they're supposed to be. And Pete, if you can go ahead and make up a name of a place of like the Foreign Legion hangout.
Okay. The Old Soldier.
Sure, the Old Soldier. I accept. Adding it to my notes. Good. It's a real place now. Okay. Back to Jenny. Any down kind of open play stuff you want to do?
No, like I said.
Joe?
I don't have anything right now.
Okay.
So
Lehman, any other open play stuff you want to do?
Don't think so unless she might have a way to help get to the Imperial City.
Imperial City. Well, wait, is that where he's called you?
Temporary, yes. One thing is there. One of the things.
Um, I suppose. I mean, I could get a carriage. I think yes. My father has a car. My father has a car. Um, we can have it. We can have it attached into the train, and yeah, then you could go down.
That would be very nice. Go like in style.
I'm sorry,
Not like
I misspoke.
villagers.
I said my father has a car. I have a car. Um, so yes, I'll send you. I'll send you in my car.
Very good.
well,
All right, Pete. Anything?
Yep.
What you got?
I'm going to grab Aldo
oh boy.
and take him along, and we're going to go to the fencing academy
Okay.
that used to be the what's left of the Red Sashes,
Right.
and try and talk to whoever's in charge.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So you go there. The place seems to be closed. But after banging on the door for a bit, um, an older Eruvian man opens the door and says, he looks at the two of you and says, "I know who you are. Have you not done enough?"
well, we might have some more that actually might be beneficial to both of us.
Aldo kind of shrugs. He's along for the ride. Oh boy.
He steps out and closes the door behind him and says, "Go ahead and speak your venomous serpent words."
It is my understanding that what's left of the Red Sashes are now paying protection to the Lampblacks. That you have basically become their lackeys. That the Red Sashes are in name only.
Have you come merely to throw salt in my eyes?
No, maybe to open them to other possibilities. As a result of our disagreements in the past, the Lampblacks have grown quite prosperous. And we ourselves have increased in stature a little bit. But I was thinking, why should you be a tag along lackey to the lamp blacks when you could actually join and become part of an up and coming organization?
Coaching talent from our friends.
You would have me believe that you'd be willing to turn on your most dear ally, the one that you risked your lives for.
We wouldn't be turning on them. There's room enough for everybody. Just something to think about. The red sashes are, for all intents and purposes, extinct, are they not?
Your words are a waste, are a mirage in the desert.
Well, sooner or later, you're going to either become a lamp black or someone else's lackey. The opportunity is there. And then I'll turn and walk away.
All right. He doesn't say anything else. He just goes back inside the apparently abandoned building.
So,
All right.
Dashiell, you brought me along as a bargaining chip, or as insurance, just in case they decide to fight instead of listen.
Yeah.
I-
It doesn't hurt to have insurance.
That's
Okay. So, let's get started then. I guess it's time to start the job.
Yes. Hey, everybody! I got this nice way to get to the capital city. We will be having a private carriage to go.
okay.
It is very good when people give you things to use, as they say. Give man fish, and he will eat today. Teach him to fish, and he will be pissed because fishing sucks.
Okay. Okay. I'd always heard light a man on fire, he'll be warm for a night. Light a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life.
Very good. So let's let's call job. We're going to split this up into kind of sequential jobs. The first one is going to be the job of infiltrating Imperial City. I think is going to be a challenging enough job all by itself. And then once you're there, you'll plan and execute a job to steal a hand, to get a hand.
So infiltration, heist, exfiltration.
Yeah, could be.
Oh. Are we going to try and steal the artifact, or are we going to try and prevent other people from?
All right, you figure out whatever the job number 2 is once you get there.
Indiana
That's
Jones,
fine.
which Indiana Jones movie are we
Yes,
in?
that is true. It decides whether or not this is Raiders of the Lost Ark or another, another one. Well, you know what? The Indiana Jones is usually about preventing other people from
It
stealing.
really is actually. Yeah.
Yeah, by stealing it first.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we can find some way to steal it first,
I don't know.
that'll prevent other people from getting it.
I don't understand why that is such a revelation to me in my late 40s.
Okay. I'm thinking to see if we're doing Raiders of the Lost Ark or Hellraiser.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
A little both.
Okay. Okay, so, where is... Oh. Here it is. All right. We're going to start with a D6. You tell me about, tell me about your way of getting inside. Is it particularly bold or daring? I don't know that it is particularly bold or daring. I'll give you an extra die for having a vulnerability to the target, which is having a special carrot, having a private train car.
Hey, Mike,
Yep.
are animals allowed into the Imperial City?
Yeah. I'll say yeah.
As a veteran, do they have support animals?
I think it's a pretty 21st century idea. Maybe 20th. But I don't know that there are support animals among veterans.
Guard dogs are a thing, though.
Yeah, guard dogs are a thing.
But would they allow a guard dog into the Imperial City?
If he came in on a private train car, possibly.
Maybe.
He's to guard the train car.
Okay. As a pet, I think I'm gonna give you guys 2 dice on this roll. Oh yeah. Nice.
Wow.
Nice. This is awesome. Okay. I love it. So I think you guys get with your people to get some documents made up, some a visa for traveling to the to Imperial City. You it takes a few weeks before the rotation and scheduling allows for the Corwell family car to be introduced to the train. And then, so tell me about how you guys are taking stuff down there. How are we looking? Let's talk loadout and such.
Oh, yeah, loadout. Yes.
Say that again.
This week,
I'd go
Like, are we tourists?
Well, I think we were planning on going as pilgrims.
So tourists.
yes.
So we're staying for a while.
Maybe.
We justify a heavier load because we need to have luggage.
So you're gonna pack some big luggage up ahead of time.
Mhm.
Hey, Bob,
Yes.
Yep.
is there any trouble with robbers or anything like that on the trains? Do they get intercepted? Do people try and break into train cars? That sort of thing?
See the onward you've heard of such things. Um, Trains going to the Imperial City always have Imperial soldiers stationed on them. So
And I just cannot do anything except picture the train heist from
yeah, train heist from Firefly, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are always Imperial soldiers guarding the trains headed to the Imperial City. So so any like banditry is on an Imperial train, a train headed to Imperial City is pretty quickly put down
Uh-huh.
Is it
and
bad?
viciously
Yeah.
put down. The
Would
the
a pri-
most
would a
people are
would a private car have guards at all?
yeah, I mean potentially. Although I think most people would consider it, you know, pointless considering the Imperial military is there. But no, the railjacks, who are the folks that operate the trains, they would tell you that the biggest threat are ghosts, are
Okay.
are spirits along the railway.
Spirits on the train.
Oh,
So having a weapon with electroplasmic ammunition.
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, because you are going out there in the dead wastes.
Yeah.
So I will make sure that I'm packing plenty of electroplasmic ammunition.
Mhm. And I assume, packing trunks of clothes with, stuff buried down below.
Yes.
Or, false
I mean-
bottoms, sides, whatever, and
My
the
thing
luggage.
with, all the clothes are actually just cloth wrappings to keep
Right.
the glass vials separate during transit.
I imagine this is.
We wouldn't want to accidentally cause a reaction in the. I feel like Min's got like big travel stickers that say fragile all across her.
Nice.
Handle with caution.
So if this is like the late 1800s, early 1900s, we're not talking little suitcases. We're talking steamer trunks.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Literally, yeah.
Oh.
These are definitely steamer trucks.
Oh, like
So-
Princess Vespa's luggage from Spaceballs.
Indeed.
So it wouldn't be that difficult to have like a false bottom or a false side
Not a problem at all.
in a heavy wooden steamer trunk that you could hide some stuff in.
And
Yeah.
portmanteaus,
Yes.
big unfolding thingies with the drawers and
Can
stuff
I
in them.
just mention
Yep.
that the trunk from Pratchett might not be out of place in this world.
The one that walks around
It has so little legs and
yeah, has legs. And,
only would be like little mechanical,
it would,
work
and it would have a
legs.
ghost inside it driving
Yeah,
around.
exactly. I mean, I kind of want that, not for a benefit in the game, but just like as a flavor.
You want to have one from in?
I mean,
I think Vince got one.
yeah,
That makes
it
sense.
doesn't do anything special. It's just, it's, yeah. Just for fun.
It's got the spirit of your old nemesis in there,
Yeah.
driving it around. That's what you were working on the whole time. You're having the downtime, the open play
I
downtime.
was
Packing.
I was
Yeah.
packing And I was working with my luggage.
I love it. Okay.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I've got an inspiration for Aldo's luggage. You've
Yeah.
seen the movie Highlander, right?
Yeah.
You saw how the Kurgan took his sword along. I mean, it's completely unrealistic and silly, but it looked cool.
I do not remember that whole thing. Was it just like a
Oh,
box or something?
yeah, it's like you know how sniper rifles come disassembled in like suitcases and such. His
Mhm.
sword came like that.
Nice.
So you just put the thing together. It was
That's silliness. But yeah, sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, Bob, my silencer kind of looks like a water canteen.
Yeah. Oh,
I have big chests of clothes and no weapons are in it because that would be obvious.
yeah. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to think of how to get armor. How to sneak armor in. No.
Depending on what kind of armor it was, if it was like a suit with thin metal plates, you could use the thin metal plates as part of the sides or bottom of the suitcase or the trunk.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, you just insert them into the suit.
You know the like the shoulder tassels of military uniforms
Yeah.
and ancient or older
Mhm.
suits. So that's what I have, and up in those, where they're held on the shoulder. That's where I keep my knife. My knives.
Got it. Right on.
Yep. And let's see. Probably. Yeah, the straight razor would be hidden probably in one of my socks or something. No reason for that particular item.
Okay. So you guys, spend because you had several weeks of planning and to pack all your stuff, and I assume like find some clothing that seems appropriate to being a nobleman on a private carriage,
Yes.
and head off on the long, let's say probably about 2 weeks journey. Let's where's this at? So I've traveled kind of along the coast through White Hollow, through Elysia. And through most of this, you don't even get off the train. You just stay in your car because you don't want to have to deal with any uh, with going through any kind of security to get into to these other cities.
So which way are we going, Bob? Are we going?
You're going around the left way, I think. You're going to the southwest from Duskfall.
So we're not going to go through the mountains.
No, I think I go around along the coast to Imperial City.
Oh, White
Okay.
Hollow, Elysia.
Okay.
Right. And so I think the approach to Imperial City after a couple weeks on the train is you're going through this like long tunnel, and again like there's like no scenery outside the windows through on your journey aside from like a little bit as you come into each of the cities that you just passed. There's you see scenes that are similar to your experience in Deathfall. But then, so you're traveling through this tunnel, and then um, you can first you start hearing the screaming ahead on the train from the cars ahead of you, and then there's just an explosion of light, and like there's just searing pain in your heads. And it takes a few minutes before you can finally open your eyes to see that Imperial City is full of light.
Weird.
Like everything is illuminated. You look out the windows of the car and see there's this and see the blinding light, this sphere of golden energy that hangs above the Imperial Palace,
That has to go.
illuminating everything all around. You see no shadows at all within Imperial City. There's greenery, there's trees, there's like the colors of the buildings is unbelievable. The all this everything around is it's hard to not just bring tears to your eyes. Just seeing what the world could have been, um, and is here under the protection of the immortal emperor.
It's
Makes me wonder why they deserve it and we don't.
As the train kind of slows down, you can start to pick out individual people and kind of look at the crowds, the busy streets, full of commerce and such. You see, it looks like every single person you see looks like some sort of highbrow nobleman. Like they all and suddenly you become very aware of who you guys are, because you can see that everyone you see, they have kind of pink. They have pink skin. They're they're missing the boils and scars and other various blemishes that all of you have on your skin. They all have none of them have the sunken cheeks and kind of scrawny arms that really everybody in Dustfall has.
Nobody has the 1,000-yard stare.
Exactly. Like everybody looks happy and like a whole different definition of healthy. Like what you thought healthy looked like is something complete. Is nothing close to what these people seem to be.
I want to kill all of them.
let's not kill all of them.
And
After what I was through to protect them, to protect society, why did they deserve it?
And I think every one of you get this sinking feeling that it's going to be really hard not to stand out here in Imperial City.
There's got to be other pilgrims.
Oh yeah, you're on a train that's full of them.
And what do they look like?
Oh yeah, just like you guys. If anything, a little bit worse, but I don't know that anybody here is going to notice.
Did other pilgrims get on at White Hollow and?
I mean, the train stopped, and it's not like you really left your car. So, occasionally railjacks would come through and bring food and such, but you had very little contact with anybody outside of your car on the way down here. So, the train comes to a complete stop, and because you're on a private car, you're one of the very first that the railjack comes in and says, all right, my friends, it's time to disembark. If I know, I can see it in your eyes. This place is pretty extraordinary, isn't it? I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself.
Is our car going to be put on a separate siding for our trip back?
Yes, it will be. I believe the contract here says the schedule says that it's to leave in 3 weeks. Although I'm afraid to say that schedule may get, it does get jostled from time to time. So 3 weeks is not. We'll of course do our best, but my lords, um, but travel out of the Imperial City is it's not always as predictable as we would like. Um, from time to time, the military has to, of course, in the immortal emperor's great wisdom, they take control of our they yes, they take control of our vehicle of the train and require a passage like south to Aruvia um, or off to Scoveland, put down some sort of to put down whatever it is. It could be military secrets. I don't know, but they travel, and we don't always have control. But you know what? Don't worry about that. I think it's best we get you unloaded and get you through customs.
Yeah. We'll just not worry about that. Sounds good.
So, a few porters, they open up the doors, and of course, like just light spills in through the open doors. The porters, are bringing your stuff, except for Min's steamer, which walks behind them.
I feel like sometimes it seems like it might be trying to nip Nim's heels
Yeah,
or something.
probably like jostles her every now and then.
Mhm.
Runs up on her heels.
Mhm.
So yeah, they the railjack says, we're going to be taking these off to the side. They're going to go through customs here. Of course, everything's going to be searched naturally, and then you'll be able to pick. You'll be able to pick it up on the other side of the wall. Look, and that's when you see like this entire area around the train is completely walled off from the rest of the city. And there are a pair of Imperial Guardsmen standing in there, and their big, beautiful, like gleaming golden armor. Their heads fully enclosed in a this in a in a helmet, and at their each of them has at their sides these big pole arms that that like Pete immediately, or sorry, not Pete.
Dash.
Dashel immediately recognizes these pole rifles. They these are long guns that also serve as pole axes.
Huh. Hey, Bob.
Yep.
I guess the weapon and the ectoplasmic ammunition
Mhm.
are probably going to stay on the train
Okay.
because I'm probably not going to get that through customs, right?
Probably not.
Hmm.
They don't have any reason to let you through with it.
So, since I've got other stuff packed away in the luggage, hidden in the luggage,
Mhm.
I'll make sure that gets locked up in a box or something on the train.
Okay. The Imperial Guardsman waits for you to approach, and he says, "Do you have anything to declare?"
Yes.
Just our loyalty in fighting for the Empire.
All glory and excellence to the Eternal Emperor. That he has such a city.
We require full cooperation within the city, and there is, of course, no violence accepted.
Of course.
You're
Someone tipped.
you're from Dustfall, and we know the reputation of that place.
There are some less than savory people in Duskfall, unfortunately.
Of course, you can't see the eyes, but you're positive that that his gaze lingers upon you, although as you say those words.
Only a fool would cause violence in the Imperial City.
Mhm.
Yes, only a fool.
Only a fool represents himself. And I'm just that fool.
That's right. Okay. They look over your documents. And
Looking over documents is going to be interesting.
yeah, so they spend actually what seems like a long time looking over the documents, and eventually come back. They can say, there are questions about your documents, but you will be allowed to enter under uh, under heightened observation.
They're not just going to assign us a Julie or Judy or whatever her name was.
Just roll, please. And they take you. You're escorted to this device with with lenses and such on it, and have each one of you stand in front of it while while an even brighter light flashes, and they create. You see them pull out these lithographs on glass of each one of your appearances.
Ooh, is it like the I can't remember the name of the cameras that like show auras and like if Joe's other character would have been here, we'd be screwed.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Jeez.
no,
Yeah.
Not a camera obscura, is it?
is
It starts with a
from what you can tell,
K, I think.
Oh, Carolean's photography.
Yeah.
from what you can tell, it's just it's like a lithograph on glass, an image of your appearances from the front and from a profile, um, on these glass sheets
Mhm.
that they then collect.
Do they take our measurement?
I think no. I mean, just taking the pictures. You may proceed within the city, but do not. Uh, but any infractions of the Emperor's law will result in imprisonment at minimum.
Okay.
So, yeah, you guys are allowed within inside the city, and then like you feel it even more now. Like now that you're in the city and you see the the colorful dress that people wear. There's all there's yeah, like everything is colorful, everything is beautiful, and there are no fucking shadows. Um, in dire contrast to like the drab grays and blacks that you all wear.
I have big smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yes, because I saw what wonder it was to put out to extinguish light. I imagine.
I don't like it. There's no place to hide.
Yep.
Can't hide in the shadows.
No. And there are like no shadows in the friggin' Imperial City.
It is just worthy challenge.
All this bright light really accentuates the lines under the bags under Min's eyes.
Mhm.
He's not thrilled with that.
No. No. And just like out of character, like I just thought this would be kind of interesting as a contrast. The dust fall. I mean,
When you described the orb, I was thinking of Dr. Mobius's sun
oh yeah,
that he had
yeah,
erected
yeah,
when it went.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
No, I love because you guys have gotten really comfortable with being in your dark, dystopian city. Now let's try this bright, shiny utopian city.
Yeah, we just went from District 12 to Panem.
The Duloc.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to
Welcome to Dubai.
the
Yes,
perfect place.
yes. Okay, so what do you guys do? You got this brand new city all to yourselves.
Yes, with these, yeah, let's see.
We're already keeping an eye on you because I was kind enough to roll a 1 for you on your on the start of your mission.
Mhm. Yeah. So they're already suspicious of us before we get there.
Well, yeah,
Mhm. It's not like we look like trouble or anything.
everybody knows Dust Ball is just full of criminals.
Well, there are fewer in Duskfall now than there were when we started.
That is a solid point, sir.
And there are a few less now than what there were like just a few days
That's definitely saying.
and guess what? Imperial Cities its rate just rose.
Yep. All right, let's take about 5 minutes. I'm going to take a potty break real quick and get myself another glass of water, and we'll play a little bit more, and then got to figure out what our situation is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope.
This is more than that.
I think I had like 2 cookies already. So
I'm back.
Leaning back.
Yep.
That sounds like a leaning back. Oh, that is. Okay. So where to, folks?
Well, is there a classic itinerary for pilgrims?
No, I mean there may have been if you've been like if you like come with like a big group of pilgrims, but you just kind of like said, "Yeah, we're pilgriming."
Well, I think to help take a little bit of suspicion off of us, we should at least, get the tour guide pamphlets, whatever, and visit some of the standard tourist attractions.
Yeah, I mean it's like that's like attractions here. So I think once you guys think of some others, I think some of the main attractions are the palace itself. There's also the menagerie and the gardens. I think those are the two that I can think of. You guys have any other places in mind you'd like, that seems like a cool place to go see?
Big statue of Emperor Triumph.
Yeah.
Min wants to eat at a fancy restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah. I would assume there'll be a fancy
Yeah,
restaurant.
probably fancy restaurants.
Big fancy capital.
Oh,
Min's never eaten in a fancy restaurant.
well, alrighty.
Do you make my kitten dizzy?
That's the intent. So, all right. I think. Yeah, if you want first, want to go. Where do you want to go first?
Oh, let's see. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think what sort of places would be.
Yeah, I spelled restaurant correctly. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Is there
I also have not eaten at fancy restaurant.
Restaurant.
Yep.
That's a good.
Yep.
That's a good one, babe.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
So yeah, I think the smells. The smells are what hit you first. The,
Just like the sewers.
yeah. Yeah. The smells of just delicious savory scents floating through the air. Things you've never smelled before, but smell delicious nonetheless.
Fantastic.
Yep. Sounds like a good place to go first.
Sure. You stop, and it's a little place. It only has about 4 tables, sitting out. Um, there were people at a couple of them, but uh, yeah, there's room to sit down. And somebody comes out and says, let me bring you a menu, which is another kind of odd idea because normally they just say, this is the stew we have.
Right.
Oh, that's-
Ground meat stew.
You buy it and then they give it to you.
Yes.
Yep. So they bring out a menu that has a number of words on it that you don't recognize at all. Yeah, because food in Duskfall is all like there's a bunch of mushrooms. There's some there's some eels that come out of the
Waterfront.
waterfront that are that
People
are
say
mostly edible.
Lots of eels.
Yep, and not really a lot else.
Prunes and eels.
Prunes and eels.
I mean, maybe rice if we could. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Vegetables.
We grow a vegetable.
The nobles get vegetables because there are certain glowing things that they can create that they can grow that shed enough light to bring life to a few
Bioluminescent.
to a few meager vegetables. What seemed like amazing vegetables there, but here in Imperial City, those would be that's all stuff that would get thrown out.
Yeah, Minna's gonna order the first thing that she sees that she's never heard of.
Yeah, which is like any of them. So yeah,
Mhm.
you guys order. I assume just order some things.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I will look at the menu and order second to longest word.
I like it. Right. And out come some of the most amazing food, like by far the most amazing food you've ever seen. Like you never even dreamed that food could be like this. There are vegetables. There's actual meat. Made with savory sauces. And
The funny thing is, this is
and
going to turn out
glazes.
to be not a fancy restaurant.
No.
Too close to the train.
No, that's exactly what this is going to be. So yes,
Yeah.
this is so you guys have this incredible meal. That afterwards gives you a bit of a
It's
stomachache because it was way richer than you're used to.
It's just Polly's diner.
Yeah.
Next
But is in
to-
fact, but as you learn in the next few hours, was really just like a little side diner thing. The cost, however, it's going to cost the crew 1 coin. Normally, this stuff wouldn't this wouldn't even be on the wouldn't register at all. But I think it sucks. It is expensive enough that it sucks down your coffers a bit to have this really great meal together.
Okay.
And I think for the heck of it, I think we should lower. I think you can. Yeah, I think. Folks, yeah. I think we'll just reset everybody's stress to 0 after this awesome meal.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Because
That's nice.
that's something that people in Dustfall don't get.
Thanks.
Wow.
This really cool McDonald's meal that you got.
Yes. It's Golden Corral. Come on.
Yeah.
What is Royale?
Even these even arches above restaurant were golden.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's amazing.
I love
it. Somebody took the money off of our sheet or whatever for our fancy meal at our restaurant.
Yeah, I'll do it here. So 1 coin. It was half the money you have in your food coffers.
Oops. I mean, worth it.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
totally.
So next, I think you guys probably head towards the Great Palace. It's the most obvious place to visit. It's got the big glowing light magically hovering in the air above it, and
It flashes off and on. It says "Eat here." Okay, clearly we're meant to go there.
there are a long line. And what's interesting, the palace is it appears to be basically completely open to the public. You can walk in and see, all throughout, you see these blackened statues of people, presumably made, crafted as if they were just going about their business. People walking or sitting on benches and talking. After a while, you learn that that in the creation of the Emperor's son, he sacrificed the lives of everybody within the palace.
Yeah, those aren't statues.
And this is what these are the charred remains of the entire palace staff.
It's a really hard bite, kitten. My God, toes are part of people, dude. Sorry, continue.
Yep. You're able to tour the whole lower section of the palace, and there are guards preventing people from going up to the second and above levels. But people are but people are highly people are highly encouraged to go visit and marvel at the wonders of the Imperial Palace, which is super marvelous. There's freaking gold everything and massive archways and spaces that bigger than any you've seen in Dustfall.
All empty right now, don't you?
Cool carved frescoes and such. Gilded everything.
Just ouch. I'm gonna have to go get some toys for the kitten because I'm not a chew toy. Come on. I'll be back. Sorry. Bye.
I am thinking about all the coins in the fountain that I cannot.
Okay. So I think it's probably about time to head to the go check out the menagerie.
Okay.
Inside the menagerie, and by the way, you see, on it is rare to be. It is rare to stand in a street and not have at least some line of sight to an Imperial soldier. Just as another detail to point out, like in your travels from the train station to the Imperial Palace and then over to the menagerie, which isn't that far away. Like at no point do you feel like you've been for very long without having eyes on at least one Imperial soldier standing guard somewhere.
Okay.
So not only is this like a utopian, beautiful utopian world, it is also a bit of a police state. A beautiful utopian police state. Um, so so yeah, inside the menagerie, the of course the menagerie is downright fascinating. It yeah, it's beautiful. It has, there are treasures from the width and breadth of the entire world here. All kinds of Peruvian artifacts and places from really just any place, all places you've heard of. And in a rather small, it takes probably an hour to find it in a rather small space, um, uh, relegated to the north of the empire. You find find this hand. It is just called a mummified hand. It doesn't have a lot of information about it. But one of you is quite certain that it is the hand of Kotar.
Ah, we have found the hand.
And it's a room off to.
Yeah, it's like a minor display, like sort of like how like when you be at like a museum, and there'll be like all the really cool art and stuff, and then there's like a little side room that has that has just like little arrowheads and things. Um, that's almost like an afterthought compared to like some of the big, more extravagant stuff. It's like you have King Tut's coffin in one space, and then kind of off to the side you have a bunch of kind of like little stone artifacts, little like pieces of objects and things that that aren't nearly as interesting to most people. Maybe they'd be super interesting to people, but in this case, most of these artifacts seem to only really be particularly interesting to you guys.
How much security is there in this side room?
Um, Again, there's definitely Imperial soldiers on the floor, and they're you have some that are standing at entrances and exits, but then there are some that are kind of walking around. So you're sure that this room, you won't. It is it is seen most of it is seen at least the longest it goes without an Imperial soldier walking through is probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Security's pretty good. It's sitting on the other side of some glass in a display case next to other objects. There's a necklace, and again it's like some other like stone pieces that are kind of barely recognizable. And it just gives and it just says mummified hand circa some date. It also says, donated by Lord Morin of Duskfall.
Okay. So, other than the actual security guards, what does it look like? There's any other alarm or anything on this on the hand?
Nothing to really see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just looks like a bona fide hand.
Okay. All right.
But, like I said, Vetcher is quite certain that's the hand.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was the real or the
Just refilled my water. No.
So I was just also buying tickets to the Cake concert in September. I didn't even know they still toured.
Who?
Cake.
I think. Okay.
Cake.
Yep.
He's going the distance. He's going for.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
all alone in time of need.
Because he's racing.
Yeah.
And Cake. Anyway, right. So you guys have spotted where the object is, and now what?
Now we just have 3 weeks to come up with a way to steal it and not get
That's true. The sooner you steal it, the longer you have to figure out how to evade capture in town.
and so we have a couple weeks. We have to figure out how to not go broke here for 2 weeks or for 3 weeks, and then
That is true.
Okay. Yes,
I wonder if we could make a fake hand and just replace it.
Impressive. Yeah.
yeah, we'd have to be able to make sure it looked the part. It doesn't have to look the part for very long, assuming we do the switch right before our train leaves. But yeah.
Yeah, and I assume figure out some lodging or something in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Too bad we couldn't sleep on the train car.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're gonna let you back in there. To give you a lot of access to that.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. Yep. So we need to figure out lodging, possibly part-time work to cover the cost of lodging and food, since it seems rather expensive here.
Looks like you got.
I've had so many times at this part.
I'm going to try and find the chapter house or whatever of the Veterans
Okay.
Association.
All right. Yeah, that probably won't take you long to do. You find them. They're in one of the outer. So the Imperial City is built. It's pretty circular since it's centered around that palace and the sun, and then kind of in rings around it. There's and the the old soldier is in is one of the outermost rings. Out here, there are Imperial soldiers kind of guarding the transitions from ring to ring, but you don't see them in the streets continually patrolling. You assume that they probably do patrol occasionally, but they probably have what we consider a normal police presence um, in America. So you're able to find this kind of the old soldier, no problem.
Is it an open door? Is it?
Yeah, you can go on in.
Well, I will step through.
Really. Inside looks looks similar to where to where you're from. It's way more brightly lit, and the people here look a lot healthier and in general happier. But like the general feel is roughly the same as your shoot. I forgot the name of the old one.
Hell is for heroes.
Yes, the Hell of Heroes.
Is there a front counter, doorkeeper, anything like that? A check-in?
No,
Sign-
not really. No, there's not really a sign in, but there is a bar to step up to. Newcomer, where are you from?
Dustfall.
You had the look of a dust ball.
And then I'll give my unit number.
The Scotland front. Oh, bastard. Have a seat. Have a drink.
What do you got?
I have various amber fluids.
Mhm.
Allow me to offer you one.
Thank you.
He pours a nice whiskey for you. Easily higher quality than what you get from Dustfall. Usually from distilled shrooms.
Yeah.
I'll lift it up and kind of look around the room and to absent comrades.
Absent comrades. Yeah, they're all with you, man. But they don't know how awful you are yet.
Yeah.
Don't
Wait,
try
wait,
to
I just
relieve
realized.
stress.
Stories.
What's that?
Wait till we start swapping stories.
Exactly.
I just realized we're going to have to keep him from killing anyone for 3 weeks in the Imperial City.
So he's gonna be quite the challenge.
Yes,
Yeah.
I told him not to try to reduce stress. What
Well, I mean, he's low on stress now, so he's probably pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Had a good meal and everything. Be all right. What's the worst that could happen?
Um,
Hey, Mikey.
Yo, sorry.
Woohoo! All right, Guthrie. Anybody want to catch him up? I need to go pee real quick.
Right.
take 2 downtime.
So we took a train ride to the Imperial City.
Yep.
yes.
Sounds like you're caught up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing happened on the train ride. We hid all of our stuff in the luggage. As far as we know, nothing got found, but our documents are a little suspect. So we've been told they're going to keep an eye on us.
Wiser than they know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the Imperial Guards, compared to us, they might as well be 40K Space Marines. They
Noted.
seriously overclass us.
We're basically tier 2, and they're basically tier 6.
Um, yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah.
So you guys have already seen the hand?
Yes, we have already found the hand.
We had some improvement points, and basically we improved the quality of our documents and our weapons on the Smythe and Company Liquidators sheet.
So what does that mean, the improved quality of each of those?
Instead of acting like tier 2 stuff, it acts like tier 3 stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's more likely to have an effect on things.
So, like going against Imperial soldiers, scratch their armor instead of nothing.
Yes.
Because you guys are tier 2 and you can get your weapons and stuff up to tier 4, but they're still tier 6. So it's gonna involve like pushing and people helping each other and other advantages to try to get up to the point where you can wound or kill an Imperial soldier.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to go?
Because Imperial soldiers are tier 6. They're pretty badass.
Mhm.
This is the
Yeah.
session that's all about learning, how shitty Duskball really is.
Yeah.
And how unfair how unfair the world is. Because Imperial City is bright and beautiful, and everybody is healthy and happy, but living in a police state. And there are no shadows in Imperial City.
Like a literal
Very-
thing?
There's no more embossing.
Right. So there's an artificial sun that hangs above the city, and just casts lights 24 hours, all day long and all night long on, around the city.
Hey, Bob,
Yep.
could you let Mike do a couple of downtimes real quick?
Yeah, you can do downtimes.
Ooh,
He's got
I don't even have my
3
calendar.
downtimes, I believe, because he is that kind of dude.
Do I have any long-term projects going on? No, not anymore.
Would there be anything that you'd want to do before we left on the trip? Anything that you wanted to prepare or make, or maybe do some documents or anything like that? Any prep work?
Probably so. I mean, so that's
But it's also the
generally what
puzzle that you guys collected long ago that they haven't played with.
Do you have any stress you need to reduce?
No, not
Ah,
anymore. In fact, I've got a playbook enhancement I need to apply somewhere too.
nice.
Um,
So
right down.
you could do some training.
Yeah, that's probably what. Do we resolve is still just 1 point?
Nope, it's 2.
So, okay, so there's a resolve. There. Let's see. Let's see. So food or something has to find its way into the Imperial City. So can I just do some downtime activity to prep, or is that to prep for trying to make some at least initial shallow type of contact in the Imperial City?
Yeah.
Someone that we know who would be willing
Yeah,
for
you want to start?
not to stick their neck out for us, but if we need to make they could
Yeah.
for some coin, they could give us some.
I like acquire an asset and have it as a some sort of a contact there. We'll call it a temporary asset. So you
So in that case, maybe my playbook enhancement I'll put toward connected, which is +1 result level when you acquire an asset or reduce heat.
so I think you still roll 2 dice, and then you really only need
Let's see. So
tier 2 you roll 2 dice, and then we'll see the quality you get.
okay, how do I roll just 2 dice?
On the left hand side, there's the toolbar. You just go down there and do a d6 and just do 2 of them,
Okay.
or just / roll 2d6. Nice. So because you get you get an exceptional contact, so a tier +2 contact, you have a tier 4 contact in Imperial City. I don't know what kind of contact do you think?
Let's see. So what do we want to? Do we want to have somebody who can get us out of a jam in a hurry, or do we want somebody who can actually direct us around the um the whatever grounds that we're at, where the hand is at, and
We'll say it's somebody who owns an inn in Imperial City and can provide some lodging for you and potentially a place to lay low.
Okay.
Somebody who's part of like a smuggling network that you're at least somewhat connected with.
Sounds good. Let's see.
It's going to be Lucian Longhorn.
I like this name. That's a good name. That's
Yep, Lucian Longhorn. Yeah, it's a. It's got the Longhorn Inn, which is not too far from the train station. What else do you want to do for downtime?
Let's
You are
see.
the most important person to have for a mission like this because you can do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Probably would want to acquire another asset. What? So we know that we're going to White Crown. We know that we're after the hand. That much we knew ahead of time, right? So, what would be the best replacement for the hand? Something made of wax or an actual mummified hand? Do you guys think?
Good question. Do we have, so you have access to an actual mummified hand?
I don't, and that's what.
Um,
But I can also maybe try to contact a mortician or something.
There's probably plenty of hands floating around the canals.
Those are more bloated and like.
In fact, here there might not be.
Is
Because
there any gear that we want with us? Um, mm, and or actually, does anybody else want to take the third downtime? Because since it doesn't have to be me.
I mean, I don't need a
Yeah,
third time.
They did a good job of getting rid of all their stress. At least you guys are starting this out stress free.
You could use it to train again as long as it's in a different.
Yeah, which I suppose may as well be the case. I'll go ahead and do that. Okie dokie. So that is it for my downtime.
Okay.
So did we get a replacement hand?
Not yet. I think you're gonna have to come up with one here in Imperial City. It is a
Yeah.
plan you guys came up with while looking at it.
Does anybody have like an eidetic memory, photographic memory, so that we can actually, make this fake hand?
Hmm.
I would think Ben probably got a pretty good look at it. I mean, you guys all spent some time checking it out.
Min thinks she knows what it looks like.
And if you with the right kind of chemicals, you could probably take take a human hand and get it to,
To look
age it
like
up.
that, yeah.
Yeah, age it up
Yeah.
to look like that. It's just a matter of boiling it in the right kind of.
Tannins.
Yeah, exactly.
Tannins are important.
Yep, tannins are good. And now you guys have you guys just remembered that you have a place to stay and to have a base of operations you can operate out of, the Longhorn Inn.
That's awesome.
I like it. So maybe we should stop here, and then we'll kind of figure things out from the next session.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I guess Min needs to come up with a list of the things we need to acquire for mummifying objects.
Yeah, and you need to come up with a hand.
Yes.
Well, that part's easy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So what do you guys think of Imperial City?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Too bright.
Yeah, it's so bright.
All right. Like it feels uncomfortable to be in a bright city after being in Dust Bowl this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too many happy people.
Exactly. Fuck those guys.
Too much too long.
Too much too long.
I'm sure more than one person would be willing to give us a hand.
I mean, do they have to be willing?
And I love how often you guys are. You just roll in, we're like, I bet we just get somebody's hand. We can do some cool stuff. We'll switch them out. It'd be awesome. Planning your crimes right away.
Doing crap.
And proving them and proving that they're right about you.
Yeah, they are.
You're like, man, those Dust Bowl guys look like scum.
It's the war that warped
Yeah.
me.
You stick with what you know. It's
Yeah. All right.
Thanks a
Good
lot.
game, everybody.
Thanks, Bob.
Later,
Thanks
folks.
for running.